Thank you very much, Chairman. President Draghi, I have two questions. The first one is on CSPP, and the second one is around the communication of monetary policy decisions. So on CSPP, I would like to ask you whether the ECB considers changing the eligibility criteria of CSPP, and even if CSPP will be phased out at some point in the future, there might occur again a need for CSPP to become necessary again. And the question is, could the eligibility criteria be adjusted in the future? Shall CSPP be needed again in the future? And my question on communication around monetary policy is, last week you invited to the high-level conference on communication challenges for policy effectiveness with Janet Yellen, the Japanese, and also the central bank, the Japanese central bank, and also the Bank of England. And the question is, how is the ECB planning to actively improve its communication to the outside world, and where particularly do you see space of improvement? And your chief economist Peter Praet said that that central banks have a role in explaining ECB monetary policy in their own countries. Do you see a conflict between this positive affirmation vis-à-vis national central banks and the fact that some central banks openly criticize ECB monetary policy tools? Thank you very much.
Thank you. On the CSPP, first, we anticipate that the purchase programs under the purchase volumes under the three private sector purchase programs, the CSPP, the ABS-PP, and the covered bonds program number 3, which, because we had two previous ones, the purchases will remain sizable. And the program has the flexibility to react to changes in market conditions, including through the redistribution of purchase volumes between the four programs. So such redistributions have occurred already in the past, although in the past they were at a somewhat limited scale. And these redistributions are expected to continue. So the redistribution, we expect that this redistribution will continue to reflect market conditions. And the PSPP operates in the deepest and most liquid market, and therefore is expected to adjust the fluctuations in the purchase volumes of the other programs as well. On the monetary policy communication, that conference was actually quite interesting because it suggested, first of all, it reflected the importance of the task of communicating monetary policy. And we are seeing this really every time. The clearer is our communication, the better is understood by markets. In fact, communication itself has become a monetary policy instrument. I observed that forward guidance now, for example, which is communication, has become a monetary policy tool from all respects. So was the announcement of OMT in the past. And that's why increased attention on communication is warranted. It's part and parcel of our monetary policy tool. But it's also part and parcel of our accountability. And accountability is important because we are independent. And we are independent within a mandate. So we are accountable. And I had an example in my session in the panel and during the communication conference. We are independent within a mandate that's been designed by the legislators, which are elected. We are not elected. So the non-elected body is accountable to the elected body through its accountability in complying with the mandate. That's why accountability is a duty, and it's very important. But in so doing, communication, exactly through accountability, becomes a monetary policy instrument. And I said on that occasion that we welcome the court cases because they allowed us to explain how well we comply with our mandate. So in this sense, any clarification on our compliance with the mandate is important. For this sort of dual role, it's our duty, but it's also becoming monetary policy instrument.